morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back to our Facebook Live each Wednesday and Saturday at 10 o'clock Central Time. I'm so delighted to have you here. I receive many questions from you, and I am grateful and delighted for your questions. Several of you said, I'm trying to understand God's next step. Or others will say, what is God doing? Well, under a unpredictable time, such the one that we live right now with virus and controlling the news, isolation, many businesses filing bankruptcy, with our government taking unprecedented measures, and with an economy, even a global economy, on the brink of great loss. Yes, we all try to figure out what God is doing. We try to understand, and in many ways, I believe we are trying to take control of the situation. But even if we don't understand what God is doing, many of us as believers in Christ, for us, there is an assurance, hope, and certainty that in the midst of all this turmoil, our God reigns. And we have to remember that many before us experienced uncertainty and trusted God. Just to give an example of the book of Daniel, who describes a time that appeared to be chaotic and unpredictable, and still sets the record straight for us. Through the entire thing, appears to the human perspective that God of Israel was helpless to stop the destructions of Israel, Jerusalem, and powerless to save Israel from captivity, and through it might appear to humans that God of Israel was not God at all. Nevertheless, Daniel's message is clear for us. God is always in absolute control. There are no circumstances, situation, or crisis out of God's control. And Daniel lived a significant life under those circumstances. Because of that, and he encouraged us with important lessons regarding the sovereignty of God that we can believe and rest in, just like Daniel did. So today, I'm going to share with you how you can live a life of significance in the midst of uncertainty. If you need more help or to be a coach or deeply help, please go to virginiaprodan.books.com/freedom coaching, and I will help you. I'm here to help you. Yes, Daniel lived a significant life, even under uncertain times. And I learned from him that there are 5 precious lessons regarding God's sovereignty that I can believe and apply and rest in it. And I want to share them with you. I hope those lessons will comfort you in this uncertain time, that you can live indeed a life of significance. And moreover, I hope those lessons will grant you security, encourage you to live completely on confidence of God, that He works amazing things for His glory and for your good. So number 1, God's sovereignty covers all human governments. In a time in which we might doubt the government handling the situation, we must remember that the Lord Himself has placed those leaders over us, and that the Lord oversees each and every one of their decisions. God's sovereignty includes each and every leader of government. It's in America or around the world. In the days of Daniel, where kings were defeated, their hands were cut off as a symbol of total defeat. So the fallen king was not able to hold the symbol of his power, and another king was established. And Daniel assures that the rulers of Babylon knew that his God was not defeated, that God's hands were still active as much as possible and totally, and he established a king and take another one. God's sovereignty encompasses all the leaders of government, no matter how righteous or evil they might be. Even though the balance of world power had shifted, the intricate affairs of government were and are still in God's hands. What do you need to do and trust God in your life, your family, your business under those uncertain circumstances? Make a list of 3 things you need to do daily in your business, your life, or for your family. Number 2, God's sovereignty rules all evil plans. Daniel was about to be promoted as prime minister over all the land. But there were some jealous people, commissioners and satraps, who wanted to destroy Daniel, and they built an evil scheme. Are you like Daniel, targeted by your competitors or your enemies in what you want to do for God and for people around you, in your life or in your business? Be encouraged and keep doing God's plan in your life and in your business. Ask yourself, was this evil scheme in Daniel's life out of God's control? Could this evil plan prevent God's purpose for Daniel? Those are the very questions we are asking ourselves today. And I want you to be encouraged to live a life of significance, as nothing can stay the sovereign hand of God. God is the ultimate. He has final and complete authority over everything and everyone, including the evil one. Nothing can frustrate the plan of God for you too, in your life, in your family, and in your business. Do not be discouraged. Remember Proverbs 21:30. There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. Number 3, God's sovereignty is magnified through your obedience. Daniel knew that the document which forbade prayer had been signed. He understood completely the consequences of disobedience of King's Darius' decree. And Daniel remained faithful in his devotion to God. He did not cave to pressure, promise, compromise, or fear. There was no worry or doubt in Daniel. In fact, the Bible tells that he entered his house and he continued kneeling on his knees 3 times a day, praying and giving thanks before his God as he had been doing previously. Daniel 6:10. Friends, it is one thing to say you believe in the sovereignty of God. It is another to live as if God is sovereign. So ask yourself, do you trust God with your life and your business? Daniel could have rationalized the situation and pray privately maybe, or pray at night, or he could have closed his windows. But Daniel continued to pray as he always had. Daniel's obedience and faithfulness to the Lord was a powerful statement, not only to the world around him, but also to his fellow Israelites, that God was in control of his life, that God is worthy to be worshipped, even under uncertain times. The same is true today. God reigns, and we shall trust him even in the midst of confusion. Friends, the unbelieving world is watching you and me and our reaction in this time of uncertainty and unpredictability. You and I have a great honor and opportunity to show the Lord, to show the world and to people around us that we trust God no matter the evil plan others or the culture creates against us. Why? Because number 4, God's sovereignty trumps all human efforts. Remember, as Daniel was praying, the king was forced to give the orders, and Daniel was brought in and cast into the lion's den. The king spoke and said to Daniel, I hope your God, whom you constantly serve, will deliver you. No human hand could interfere to help Daniel, not even the king Darius. He recognized that. Are you in a situation right now that no human hand could interfere to help you, your family, or your business? Be encouraged. What man cannot do, God can. Listen, God will not permit the lions even to touch Daniel. The lion did not touch Daniel. Why? Because they listened to the voice of their Creator. He will protect you. God will protect you if you remain faithful like Daniel was. The Creator, who is in control of his creation, is in control of your life. God's sovereignty extends from lion, winds, the sea, the bacteria, the viruses, the uncertainty that is here. Oh, if I know and I understand that you might say, if God was able to do this, why can God stop a virus? Why does God don't eliminate? And that is, I will believe, because number 5, God's sovereignty always bring glory to himself and growth to us. Once Daniel was freed, the king decreed to all the people to acknowledge that Daniel's God is not dead, that he has not been defeated, that he is alive, steadfast, actively bringing to pass his divine plan. Even though Jerusalem and its temple lay in ruin, Darius, the king of the universe at that time, proclaimed to the world that the living God of Daniel rules and it's eternal, it will never pass away. That Daniel's God is the only God that is able to deliver, rescue, and perform signs and wonders. Back to the questions that we started today. What is God's next step? The answer is the same for us. God's glory being put on display was the ultimate purpose for Daniel and his life, and it will be in your life and in my life, which is the ultimate purpose for everything that God does. Ephesians 1:11-12. Why has God allowed this virus to circulate to the entire globe, you might ask? One of the responses might be so that life in him, in Christ, can be magnified and proclaimed. Why God allows this economy? Well, maybe to highlight his eternal values. Why has God allowed such unpredictable and uncertain times? One answer might be to show us that we as people, we are not in control or sovereign, that even our best effort cannot bring the stability and assurance we long for, assurance that is found only in Christ. I hope that those 5 lessons will encourage you that yes, If you are faithful, you can live a life of significance even under those uncertain circumstances, like Daniel. If you need more help or be trained, please go to virginiaprodanbooks.com/freedom coaching. I'm here to help you and to encourage you. Until our next time, Facebook Live, Wednesday and Saturday at 10 o'clock, I hope that you will be blessed and you'll keep in touch. Continue to send me your questions. And I hope you make the decision to live a life of significance in Christ, even under those uncertain circumstances. Yes, it is possible. If you apply those 5 lessons correctly, you will be able to do it. If you need any help at all, please go to virginiaprodanbooks.com/freedom coaching and I will help you. Until next time, be blessed and bless others. Bye-bye.